Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2, Episode 7. So, you guys, my energy is low today. My sciatic nerve has flared up and my hip is so bad I can barely walk. And I couldn't sleep last night, so I'm tired. And this is Monday. And I should have had this video up already. And it's probably not gonna go up till Tuesday. Y'all won't even see this to know anything. I mean, I guess I'll say it on Instagram or Twitter, but I just want to lay down. You guys. But anyway, gotta get the review done. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show opens with Lorenzo and Drew about to perform a hit. I'm like, Drew, why are you doing this? This is so not you. This is ridiculous. They bust in the house and the op, okay? I guess this is a guy what was his name? Keno? I think it was Keno. I guess that's Keno that's in there having sex with this girl. Aren't they always having sex with girls? Is that all that the drug dealers do? Anyway, they bust in, shoot him. Okay, now he's taken care of. Drew goes up to the girl and says, "You never saw us." And the girl's like, "Okay." But Lorenzo goes and has his boys shoot him. He was like, "Yeah, I couldn't let anybody ID you being here." Did Drew shoot the girl? No, it wasn't Drew that shot the girl. It was the dad that shot the girl, right? Whatever it was, she did. And Drew was like, "Why would you guys do that?" Yeah, no loose ends. Boy, you better get used to this quick, fast, in a hurry, Mr. I'm leading the family. So when they get back home, Auntie is like, "Where y'all been?" And, Lorenzo, just out TCBing. None of your damn business, basically. So he sends Drew away. And she was like, "You are out here putting my child in danger. Like, this is the whole thing. We ain't even supposed to be on these streets like that. I had the shit all set up. Zeke about to go pro. Like, we wasn't going to have to do this no more." Well, Lorenzo, that is not his plan. Even though Monet thinks that the good life would be with Zeke, he was like, no, he going to always provide for his family. He going to always provide for Monet. And that's just basically that on that. I was like, girl, you going to have to end up killing your husband. I think that's the only way out. And side note, I was looking at Lorenzo again today, and I was just like, oh, yeah, no, he is cuter than Dante. You got that old sleek, them light eyes, child. It's something. They both are good-looking men, but when I finally got a good look at Lorenzo outside of the jail cell, I was like, oh, okay, maybe so. But yeah, it looked like the only way that Auntie is about to get out this mess with Lorenzo is if he conveniently turns up dead. Now, later on, we see her at the house, and Evelyn shows up. I was like, who is Evelyn? Well, Evelyn evidently is the wife to Frank. And who is Frank? Remember at the beginning of the show when Frank showed up at the house and they had said that he had snitched to get out of jail? Remember? And they ended up killing Frank. Okay, well, now Evelyn, I think that's his name. His name was Frank. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you guys will. But anyway, Evelyn's like, "Where's my damn husband?" Okay, and Auntie just basically trying to tell her, like, girl, you know the name of this game. Okay, like, I don't know where he is, but it ain't like she could just flat out tell her what's going on anyway. The best she can do is give her a wad of money. She said, just to get your family back on track again. Okay, make your family whole. The family is not whole without Frank, but Frank will not be returning to the family. So this is going to have to do. Now, jumping over to Overly Dedicated and Davis. So they meet with Tariq, and they show Tariq a video of I guess they're trying to say that this is Tariq. And Tariq was like, that is not me. Somebody is trying to set me up. I wasn't even there that night. I was at Rockefeller Center with Paula. Overly Dedicated was like, okay, well, if it's not you, then who is it? Because Overly Dedicated feels like he knows who it is and ain't saying. So Tariq just kind of look at him. And, Davis is like, that's enough, Overly Dedicated. It's got to be the daddy. So Davis tells Tariq that he need to watch his back because there's plenty of people on that campus, obviously, that is looking to, to put him in jail. Can't trust nobody. Honey, Tariq knows that best. So when he leaves, Overly Dedicated was like, for the one time that the boy might be innocent, okay, now he don't want to talk. He not telling us who did it, and he knows who did it. And Davis was like, oh, Overly Dedicated, you don't know these streets. Maybe he's not talking because he can't. So Tariq take it on back to the house, and Meldon got the photo album. So Tariq is looking through the photo album, and he sees a picture with Mel's dad and Sweeney in blackface, Child, just the perfect picture for what Tate needs. So Tariq is about to take it, and Mel is like, no, I can't let you do that. And Tariq was like, please, this is going to help my family. And, Mel is like, yeah, but this will fuck up my family. Like, I can't get my father caught up in no shit like this, even though it's Sweeney, the fact that his father is in the picture as well. So Tariq and him are going back and forth. I was like, what the fuck you bring the damn photo album there in the first place? You had to know that he needed it for a bad reason. I was like, oh, Mel. So long story short, Tariq can't get the picture that he needs, but he goes back to Councilman Tate and he tells him, that he got the picture. He just don't have it. All right. And Councilman Tate was like, yeah, I need the picture or the shit didn't happen. He about sick of Tariq. Fuck, I've been waiting for you to give me this information for the longest. I done got you out of jail. I did my part. Okay. When the hell you gonna give me this damn picture? Tariq was like, I'm gonna get it for you. Okay, stringing old Councilman Tate along. Yeah, Councilman Tate said, I don't give a fuck what you saw. It's all about what I can see in my hand and what I can put out there. So get to work, Tariq. So Tariq goes to class after that, and Milgram is just like, how did he get out of jail? What judge would give him bail? Okay, girl, shut up. Okay. And Councilman Tate just shake his head like, well, whatever. So, we have class. And this time the question of the day is, should we make decisions for other people without their consent? Oh, that's a doozy. Lauren has something to say, about her being framed. She kind of mumbles it under her breath. And really it's only for her and Milgram to understand. Lauren, did you have something to say? Yeah, bitch, you the one that tricked me into signing that paperwork, and now I got to testify against my ex-man. Anyway, the kids throw it around, LSK talking about the police and, all of this and all of that. You know how they do in class. Some people say that we should, some people say that we shouldn't. Tate brings up the fact that, political officials, they do, they do make some decisions without consent. So that's where the political corruption comes in. But he's like, no, voters actually put the politicians in place to make these decisions. So anyway, we go on tossing it around the classroom, but the topic comes up about Lauren, being in trouble and how drugs was found in her room. All right. Now, Tariq kind of looks over and I was like, oh, yeah, Tariq don't even know. It's been so much shit going on that, Tariq ain't been privy to this information. So when class gets out, he catch up with Lauren like, wait a minute. Well, like, why you didn't tell me about the drugs? She was like, nigga, you got your nerves. You keep secrets all the damn time. Hell, I thought you already knew. Everybody else on campus knew. So she was just like, basically like, Negro, don't come over here arguing with me about some information that you didn't know. I don't never know nothing. And he tells her he keeps the secrets to protect her, but she don't want to hear it. So when she walk off, we see Milgram. She over there looking at him from the side. I was just like, ooh, that Milgram. Child. She be looking good, though. She's a beautiful woman. That leather coat or whatever it was that she had on, it was nice. But I was just like, it's too bad. It's just too bad. You're going to have to die, girl. Now, Davis, on the information that Tariq gave him, goes and meets with Paula. And, of course, Paula is salty because she was, I think, in love with Davis at one time. But, they was having an affair and Davis had no intention of being with her because he's married. So he tells her that Tariq said that she was his alibi. And she was at the Rockefeller Center with him. And she says, yes, we were, but it still wasn't, it still was enough time for him to get over there and kill Ramirez and Reynolds if that's what he was going to do. Okay, so, that's not going to work. And plus, I can't testify anyway. Okay, conflict of interest, she's, just ain't going to work. So basically, she's like, nigga, please leave me alone. Quit trying to talk to me. Okay, put your fucking wedding ring back on. You're married. Okay, like tell your wife I said hi. All right. I was like, girl, don't be mad at him. You knew he was married. You was up there sleeping with his ass. I mean, don't be mad because it didn't work out. These men don't leave their wives, child. He goes back to his office and Tariq shows up there and he was like, look, we need to talk. Okay, I went to talk to Paula and the Rockefeller story is not going to hold up. The timelines ain't, matching up. Do you have any other thing that could keep you out of jail? Like any other alibi? And he was like, well, I was at my grandmother's house that night. All right. Did anybody see you? Well, his granny and his sister. Okay, well, can we question your sister? Of course, Tariq does not want to put his sister on the stand like she's already been through enough. We already know Granny ain't fixing to testify for him because Granny is upset that the little girl been taken away anyway. So then Davis was like, look, we need to do whatever we can to keep your ass out of jail. But, Tariq is still not trying to listen to him. So he's like, okay, well, I know you're not here for that anyway. What did you show up for? And so then Tariq tells him about Lauren and how, there were some drugs found in her room and he wondered if that has anything to do with him. So then Overly Dedicated is listening. He said, what does she look like? And Davis was like, what does that have to do with anything? But Tariq shows her the picture, and then he notices that that's the girl that was talking to the prosecutor the other day. So he was just like, he didn't say why, but, you know, Davis was like, okay, anyway, you know, basically Tariq, you're going to have to figure it out. We got to do something to keep you out of jail. So when Tariq leaves, Overly Dedicated tells Davis how Lauren was at the prosecutor's office the other day. That's the girl that he saw. Overly Dedicated had told Tariq to stay away from her, you know, just in case. But he tells Davis that, you know, she could actually be a really big problem. She's definitely a prosecutor's witness. I was like, don't. So then jumping over to Drew was in the throes of passion with Everett. I said, Drew, now listen, you going to be a hardcore gangster. You're going to be over here lover boying it up with Everett. You ain't going to be able to do both, okay? But shit, I guess he finds out half of the things from Everett. While he's there, when they finish, Everett tells him about them finding the badge in Tariq's room. And Drew didn't know any of that. You know, he was just like, kind of like dumbfounded, like, really? Well, anyway, while they're there, there's a knock at the door, and it's a Detective Important. We ain't seen him in a long time. So, you know, when Drew goes off and hides in the other room, Everett goes to the door, and Detective Important is trying to ask Everett all these questions. Well, you know, Everett already know that he can't be answering these kind of questions now. Detective Important was just like, what's the matter? You seem a little nervous. You know, looks over his shoulder, see maybe it's some other clothes in there on the floor, you know, and Everett was like, yeah, that's all right. I'm good. You ain't got to worry about me. You know, go on about your business. Thank you. And Detective Important was like, okay, well, you know, if you want to talk to me, I'm here. Yeah, we know where you are. Thanks. So when he turns around, Drew comes out from the bathroom, and Everett was like, he's gone. And Drew looks at him and was like, he'll be back. Drew already knows. Now, remember last week we saw Dante looking at Zeke shooting the baskets? Well, Dante ends up getting out the car and going up to Zeke, and child, long story short, he tells Zeke that that's his son, that he's the father. And Zeke was just like, no, not me. You know, you got the wrong guy. Man, get the fuck away from me. Dante was like, hey, it's okay. Like, you know how you got your name? I was like, ooh, Dante, you going full throttle on this? I mean, the boy couldn't just get a soft blow first. You had to just... Child, anyway, he told him about his name and how his name is from the Bible, and he got the Bible script verse tattooed on his shoulder. You know, talk to your mom about it. She knows about it. She was there. And of course, Zeke is still looking at him like, yeah, whatever, nigga. But I'm sure, you know, he done piqued Zeke's interest. Now, at the same time, we see Auntie, she at the house fussing with Diane about going to school and all of that. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, shouldn't you be happy? You got your daddy home. Like, you get to go to school. Like, what is the problem? Leave me the fuck alone, okay? Anyway, Auntie got some places to go and people to see, you know, so she can't even be fucking with Diane too long. So she trying to get her purse and shit together, and her phone goes off, and it says D is the name of the person, and it just says we need to talk. And I was just like, first the fuck all, Monet, why do you have your text messages lighting up right on the top of your screen like that? Nigga, take that notification off. Secondly, can you at least change the initial name? Like, even if it's just D. Bitch, you better put that name in there as under some woman's name or some shit. You know, your man is back home. It's real sketchy around there. The kids don't trust you. You don't trust the kids. And you got shit like this popping up on your phone. Like, what is wrong with you, girl? So, of course, Diane did see that, but she didn't say anything. And, you know, Auntie basically is sick of Diane. Girl, leave me the fuck alone, shit. So she get her stuff and she go talk to Zeke at his dorm room. Like, where the fuck you been? You was supposed to be at this meeting. And Zeke was like, Auntie, some man came up to the basketball courts and said that he was my father. I'm going to go talk to my mom. You know, Auntie was looking like, oh, no. You cannot go talk to your mom about this. All right. Like, damn, Dante done one-upped her. So she was just like, you know what? I need you to sit down so we can talk. And he was like, no, I gotta go. He about to miss the Princeton game. She's like, the Princeton game? Boy, sit your ass down. So she tells him, your father is in jail for life. Okay, yeah, I didn't really want to say nothing. That's all I do know, but he's in jail for life. Basically, you can't go no damn where. All right, he was like, well, he had a tattoo on his shoulder. And she was just like, who you gonna believe, a stranger or me? Oh, yeah, because strangers just come up out of the clear blue sky and start saying that they're your father, and there's nothing that you should even look into that about. Like, you should automatically ignore it. Okay, but this is Zeke we talking to, so I mean, I guess. So, you know, she finally talks him off the ledge, calms him down. Your daddy is not that man. Your daddy is in jail for life, and don't worry about it. So now she mad, she go and fuss at Dante. Like, we had an agreement. He was like, yeah, we did have an agreement. Okay, you don't want to renege on the agreement. So he's still following through on his agreement. His agreement was that he was going to meet his damn son. And so she was just like, you left me. And he was like, I did not leave. First of all, I was arrested. Okay. And then after that, he went to the military. But he evidently didn't know that he had a child out there. And, she was just like, I was 16 years old and you weren't around and, all of this. So he was just like, look, Monet, he is my son. And he intends on getting to know his son. She was like, we don't need you. He don't need you. And neither do I. So basically you need to bounce. Like, that's just gonna do it for Dante. Now, jumping over to Milgram, child. Milgram sees on the group text, for the school that the kids are all talking about Milgram and Zeke and how Milgram was having an affair with Reynolds and she was sleeping with this person and that person, was going around. So she was listening to it. Okay, I know she had the bubble guts. I was, girl, you about to lose your good paying job. And, Tate come in there and interrupts her, and just was like, I didn't get an invitation to the memorial dinner for Reynolds today. And she was like, yeah, because it's only for people that really knew him. All right, but he wants a damn invitation. So while they're talking, the administrator comes and like, I need to talk to Milgram, excuse us, Tate. So he goes out, but he ain't far, just on the other side of the door. And the administrator was like, yeah, there's some disturbing rumors that are going around about you. Maybe you shouldn't be the person to give the keynote speech tonight, talking to the donors about Reynolds when all of this is going on, so he trying to pull the rug out from under her. And then Councilman Tate goes in there on his political trip and tells him like, we should not condemn her, this is not right. We ought to stay behind her and give her the support that she needs. And the administrator was just like, oh, you know what? You're right. I was just like, that easy, huh? So, now she's still giving the speech. And when the administrator leaves, she was like, what do you want, Councilman Tate? And he was like, I want an invitation. Well, looks like you're going to that dinner. Now, jumping over to Tariq, we see him go talk to Tamika. Okay, and Tamika's still, that honey, she got that nice laid wig on, but she's still pissed the fuck off. Like, what do you want, Tariq? Why are you calling me? Okay, so he telling her how he ain't killed Ramirez, and she was like, and what about Reynolds? Okay, listen, you want me to help you out, but I need to know the truth, the full truth about everything. Okay, who all you killed? Like, every time I look around, it's a body coming up around you. She's like, this one, that one, this one, that one. She got pictures and shit. Like, you done did something and you need to tell me. Okay, and really, I can help you, Tariq. I can't keep you out of jail, but I can give them, get them to give you 5 years or less. You'll still be in your 20s when you get out of jail. You just do your time and then you come out, and you can still make something of your life. Like, it ain't got to be all of this, okay? But you need to tell me. And of course, Tariq is still tight-lipped on that. He ain't really ready to tell nobody nothing. And that's because his sister, those 5 years that he's in jail, his sister's going to be in the foster system. He knows that 5 years will mean that he pretty much lost his sister, so he can't do that. I said, poor Tariq, child. He always trying to take care of his family and make shit worse. Now, jumping over to Dante and Kane, they meet with Lorenzo and Drew. Kane sees Drew and like, okay, you can go on somewhere. Oh, no, honey, Drew is next in line. Remember, he gonna be there with his daddy. So anyway, Dante and Lorenzo, they meet. Of course, he's not under Dante. He's under Mecca, right? Anyway, Lorenzo tells him that they fixing to take over the streets again, and they just need to make sure that, Dante can handle the product, what they gonna need soon. And, Dante was basically like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry about my part. So they dap each other up, give each other a hug and everything. We gonna be in touch. And Kane is looking sick because now he knows he's been cut out of that process. Child, when them two was talking to each other, that's when I really saw how cute Lorenzo was. But I was looking at Lorenzo and Dante. I was like, ooh, I love this. Ooh, there's so many twists and turns to it. I don't know why you guys keep thinking that Raising Kane was better than this Power Ghost Book 2. Book 2 Ghost, whatever it's called. No, this show is better than Kane. Raising Kanan. But you guys can, whatever. Now, it's the dinner. And Lauren is there, and Professor Milgram walks up to her like, Lauren, I wanted to talk to you. And Lauren ain't got time for no damn Professor Milgram. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me, all these problems around me, when I think about all the people that's been turned up dead, or that's in trouble, you are the common denominator. So really, you the problem here. Lauren is just like, bitch, I done had enough of you. I got to be prosecutor, witness and all this. So while they're talking, LSK walks up and she was just like, the administrator's looking for us, like, you know, Dean, whatever. Come on, are you guys okay? I feel a little tension here. And Lauren's like, no, we good. Okay. So they walk off and yeah, we about to get this memorial dinner started. Now, Councilman Tate walks in, you know, in full politician role, you know, just clean, sharp as a tack. And we see Mel and his family. They're all sitting at a table. And, you know, there's always drama with them at their table. Everybody get on each other's nerves, you know, and all of that. Councilman Tate walks up to Mel's dad and is telling him how, you know, he wants the seat, basically, and that he needs him to help. And, you know, Mel's dad is just like, yeah, we not doing that, basically. And Councilman Tate was like, well, you know what? I happen to know about a picture of you and Sweeney that's not going to be good. All right, you know, that's going to be coming out soon enough, so you might really want to try to help me, basically. Mel's dad was just like, I don't take too kindly to blackmailing. And he was like, no, just blackface. Okay, and he walks off, and that's when Mel's dad looks around like, oh, shit. Okay. I was like, come on, Councilman Tate, I'm here for it. So anyway, let's get on with the dinner. So LSK gets up there and introduces Lauren, who is going to introduce Professor Milgram, okay? And so Lauren get up there with some old shady introduction, got an attitude and all of this, you know, and then Milgram gets up there and all the donors and stuff are sitting there at the tables and everybody get to whispering. It's like, you know, that's a hoe right there. You know, she was fucking Reynolds and she's fucking Z. So she was trying to give her speech and she kind of sees everybody talking about her and she was just like, I can't do this. And she walks out. And I was just like, girl, what made you want to do this? Girl, you already know they was talking about you. You just made it worse for yourself. So she storms out and Councilman Tate goes out after her, you know, and she goes to the room and her office and she's kind of crying and all this. And, you know, when Councilman Tate comes, she was just like, please, not right now. And he was just like, look, I know how you are feeling. You know, I done been circling the drain. I've been up against the ropes in the past, you know, all of this. Gives her the pep talk, like, it's going to be all right. Trust me. He told her that he wanted to come to the dinner because he needed to have his political career saved. And she was like, well, did I help? And he was just like, you know what? It ain't happened yet, but it's on its way. And that's all I know. It's all going to be all good pretty soon for everybody. You going to find a way to survive this? Just like I always do. I said, I guess Councilman Tate and Milgram will have something going soon enough. That's going to be a good looking couple. That's going to be a good looking couple. Now, after the dinner, Lauren goes to Tariq's dorm, okay? He just sort of like, can I help you? And she was just like, oh, I just wanted to talk to you. You know, I wanted to apologize for not supporting you and all this. And while she's trying to give her speech and she really want to tell him something, then up walks Diane, like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had company, Tariq. And he was like, that's all right. Come on in. You know, I was waiting for you. You know, and, you know, Lauren got that look of face molded, you know, cracked and on the ground. And he was just like, yeah, Lauren, I gotta go. Okay. You know, Tariq, you move on like this, right? So, yeah, Lauren goes on about her way and he goes in there with Diane. Okay. And she tells him that she not there talking about no damn business. She wants to talk to him about her family. You know, he ain't got no stake in the game. You know, she needs to talk to somebody that ain't too attached to their family. And so she's telling him, like, you know, I brought my dad home. And he was like, yeah, you took the money and you did what you wanted to do. And she's like, I did. I thought I was bringing my family closer together, but everything is worse. Now everybody got way more secrets. Like, do you know anybody that my mom is working with called D? Okay. But it gets glossed over and all the other stuff that they're talking about. She was just like, you know, my dad wants to run the streets and my mom wants to go to the NBA with Zeke and Drew wants to be with Everett. And, you know, and he was like, and what about Kane? And she was like, you don't never know what that nigga want. Okay, it changed. No, Kane just wants a little respect in his family for the shit that he does. I'm very clear on what Kane wants. And Diane wants to go to school. Okay, she wants to go to school there at Stansfield with him. And he was just like, your mama will never okay that. She was just like, well, you guys are not in the business together anymore. So, like, what's the problem? Okay. And he was like, okay, well, listen, Diane, if we're going to do this, then it's got to be two things. Okay. You got to be sure you want to do this. Okay. I was like, what is do this? And so she kisses him and she was like, anything else? And he was like, and your mama can't never know about it. She was just like, bet. And next thing you know, they kiss. And I said, that damn Tariq done fucked Effie and Lauren and Diane, I think pretty much in the same week. He is the man. While Diane is at the dorm with Tariq, we got Drew and Kane at the house fighting over, being the leaders of this new family movement that Lorenzo done dropped on everybody. And Drew was like, "You're not even smart enough to not get caught putting the badge in the damn drawer." He's like, "You didn't let Tariq go to jail. If he go down, you gonna go down too." And he was like, "What, you found that out by that snitch ass Everett?" Okay. Well, of course, you can't talk about Drew's boyfriend like that. So they get into an argument. It turns into a fight. And they breaking up shit around the house and everything. Renzo come down there like, "Hey, what the fuck? Wait a minute. What's going on?" And you know what Kane was like? He got his snitch ass boyfriend. That's a problem. And Renzo was like, "Oh, wait a minute, Drew. Is this true? Like, is your boyfriend gonna be a snitch? Because we can't have that. You can be gay. You can do whatever you want to do. We can't have no snitches, though." And Drew was just like, "Yeah, no, that's not true." And he said, "Okay, it better not be true." All right, Renzo looking at him like, "We can't have no loose ends, remember, none." So after the little fight, Monet goes and talks to Kane, and he was just like, "Look, now Dad and my distributor, they know each other. Like, they done basically cut me out of it. So the drug deal at Stansfield is dead and out the water. Like, it's over." And she was just like, "Oh my God, that money is, I gotta have that money. That money is what's keeping Tariq out of jail, out of trouble, which means that, all of this has got to work together. That's gonna keep you out of jail. Okay, we need to get some money some kind of way. Are you clear on that?" And Kane was like, "Yeah, crystal clear." Now, Davis finally gets the sister up on the stand and, asking her all these questions. And she basically gives the answers that they need to know to keep Tariq out of jail. At least that's what we think as far as the defense is concerned. She says that Tariq was at her house and that they ate together and all of that. Well, when the prosecutor finally talks to her, well, she kind of pulls apart the little girl's story. There was a time when somebody went to the store and, we don't know if Tariq was there in daytime and nighttime and all of this. And the prosecutor was like, either she's lying or she just is confused. She doesn't remember. We can't put her on this, we can't go by what she says. And so they about to start arguing, and finally Tariq was like, "You know what, that's it. She's not going on the stand. Forget it. Okay, it's done. It's over." He got to protect his sister. And we got Tamika there with Davis and Overly Dedicated, and they all looking like, oh shit. So afterwards, Tamika goes to Overly Dedicated, and she was just like, "Listen, you have got to protect your client. Like, you already know that he didn't do it. Like, you need to see about him taking a deal." And Overly Dedicated was just sort of like, "Yeah, well, he didn't do this one." Overly Dedicated's attitude is just like, "Well, he didn't do this one, but he did plenty others." Okay, but she was just like, he's still a good kid. There's good still in him. Look how he tried to protect his sister. Like, don't let him throw away his whole life. Let him take this deal. 5 years, be back out on the streets and everything, and can turn his life around. If you don't help him now, he's gonna be a bigger monster than he ever was. Okay, way bigger than his daddy. Now we see Everett. He's out talking with one of his homeboys or whatever, and then he's about to leave, and he's walking off down the street. It's dark, and we see Drew had been following him. Okay, Drew is looking at him from across the street in his car. Drew gets out the car and put his mask on his face, and I was like, "Drew, what are you about to do?" Okay, and he pulls out this gun, and I was like, "Are you about to kill Everett? Like, what the fuck? This is how you get out of it? You can't just leave him alone. You gonna kill him, huh?" Okay, so of course, while he following Everett, about to put the silencer on him, Everett texts him. Of course, Everett don't know he being followed, so Everett texts him like, "Hey, what you doing? I miss you." Okay, and that's when it finally clicks in Drew's head, like, I'm really about to kill the man that I love, So he texts him back like, "I miss you too. On my way to see you." I said, "Oh, you was really on your way too, old fuck ass nigga. How you just gonna kill your man like this on the street and everything and cold blooded? I mean, he didn't do nothing." Drew, I'm telling you, he ain't built for this. That boy gonna have a nervous breakdown before the season is over. Something gonna happen with Drew. And when Diane goes back home, Zeke is there. And she's like, "What are you doing there?" "Auntie said that I need to just lay low over here. Some man that showed up and told me that he was my father." And she was just like, "What? Really?" "Yes, honey." He was just like, yeah, he was lying basically. Auntie had cleared it up for him, but this dude's name was Dante. I'm sure that's going to click to Diane at some point. It didn't while they were talking, but it will. This is how you know when niggas is real desperate. Kane is in the car trying to threaten to scare Davis. First of all, Davis is a lawyer for the streets, okay, and from the streets. Now, you ain't really scaring him with this gun at the neck bit, all right? He's trying to scare Davis, and Davis was basically just like, listen, Tariq had many chances to give out some names, and he never did. Okay, we ain't got to worry about Tariq. If Tariq go down, then everybody going down with him, including you. Okay, but as long as the money keep coming in, then you ain't got to worry about it. All right. And so then Kane gets out the car and, he was like, and Kane, okay, tell your mother I said hi. He tries I was just like, child, that damn Davis is something else. Now, Monet goes home and, honey, if that Renzo ain't got the bedroom all romantical, honey, he got bouquets of flowers all over the place and he got his leopard shit on. And she was just like, what is this about? And he was just like, I just wanted to make it nice for you, for all them cold nights that you came upstate, to visit him in jail, basically. We fixing to do it in this nice, warm, cozy bedroom. He tells her that he loves her and he said, you're not still working with Tariq, are you? And she was like, no, I shut it down like you told me to. Now, the prosecutor, Overly Dedicated, and Tamika, they go to Tariq's dorm and they basically trying to convince him that you gonna have to talk. You gonna have to say who it is. And he was just like, there's no way that I'm snitching. First of all, even if I go to jail for 5 years, do you think it's gonna be safe for me? People know that I snitched. Okay. And secondly, do you think it's going to be safe for my grandmother and my sister to be out on the streets still if I'm in jail and I snitch? Like, nothing doing. I'm not doing that. Don't ask me to do it again. So once he shut that down, honey, Tamika's done with it. She was just like, listen, good luck with you. Don't call me no damn more about this shit. Okay. I tried to help you. You ain't want no help. So leave me the fuck alone. So while Overly Dedicated is at the bar having him a scotch and soda after work, Davis walks up and was like, am I clear? Did you try to give my client a deal behind my back? Overly Dedicated was like, it's the only way. Okay, but he refused it, so calm the fuck down. Like, it ain't even happened, so it's nothing to get all worked up about. Anyway, Davis said, we got to know what Lauren is going to say on that stand. Okay, do you have any idea who her lawyer is? So then Overly Dedicated pulls out the file that he took from the prosecutor and he just shows Davis, and Davis just kind of smirks to himself. So next thing we know, child, he goes to see Milgram. And I guess Milgram is the one that's supposed to be her lawyer. At least that's what it says in the paperwork. And he was just like, so let me get this straight. You trying to say that you was Lauren's lawyer. Okay, I know you sinks to new lows, but this is a low, even for you. Okay, he said this shit is so low that he's thinking about going to the ethical committee at the school and telling on her. And she was just like, well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Like, you got your nerves coming up in here talking about me and my ethical qualities when you ain't got none your damn self. Well, he telling her that you playing a dangerous game, and I'm going to tell you what, Lauren is going to be up on that prosecution stand, and if she get up there, I'm going to rip her apart, okay? And you going to be a byproduct of all of that, okay? And she was just like, it's not safe for Lauren to get up there. Oh, well, you should have thought about that when you was doing all that you was doing, sis. And basically, Davis was like, listen, bitch, we gonna do whatever we gotta do to make sure that our client stays free. So now I know Milgram really got the bubble gut. And then, you guys, we see an attack that happens. I'm assuming this is on Keno's crew or whatever. I guess Lorenzo got some people to go over there and take all of the people out. They was like at a kickback or something. And once they all kill everybody that's there, the lady, she texts Lorenzo and says that it's done. Okay, so I guess now he really got the rule on the streets. And then we see Kane go talk to Tariq. And Kane tells him that the supplier cut him off, and we're going to have to figure out something else. And Tariq was like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, I need to have the product in order to make the money, like all this got to work together. And Kane was like, oh, well, it's plenty of ways to skin a cat. Basically, you're going to have to figure out a way that we get this money, but you're going to have to do it. You can do it, college boy. You smart. Basically, like, get at me when you figure it out, and walks away. And Tariq is just looking, and I was just like, child, this damn season has been really good. Okay, bravo, Miss Courtney. Even though this episode was kind of blah, this still is, you can feel the building blocks, y'all. It's just like old, not quite old Power days, but definitely better than the ending of the Power days. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I got to take Blue out and then maybe get this edited and up if I can, you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.